Yeah.
Welcome everybody to Catfish Weekly, presented by Excel Boats. Along with the Dr. Tim Lang, I'm Lyle Stokes, and Cindy is here to spin the rig wrap prize wheel. Doc, it is so hot in southwest Missouri.
Welcome everybody to Catfish
Here we go again.
That's not me.
No, it's not. We're going to get that fixed to where I don't have to do that every time the show starts, but, you know, it is what it is. Welcome everybody. Like I said, it's hot, but it's going to cool off tomorrow. We're going to get some rain again tomorrow. It's been almost a week, so we're due.
Yeah, that, they said tomorrow was supposed to rain here. Clouding up right now.
Well, you're probably due for some. You told me the other day that your grass was brown.
Yeah, it's worse than brown. I got 1 inch crack in the ground.
I'll take a picture of mine tomorrow and send it to you. You won't believe it.
Okay.
And I just mowed it 2 days ago, so yeah, it is not too bad. I got a message last week, Doc, from a gentleman that has a 12-year-old son that has been diagnosed with leukemia about 2 months ago, and we didn't get it set. I didn't get it done last week, and I just got a message that you need headphones if you have them.
I need headphones?
Yes. I don't know why, but I got a message that somebody said that, or Trey said that you needed headphones. You must be getting feedback or something. An echo.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyhow, this gentleman had contacted me last week, and he has a 12-year-old son that has been diagnosed with leukemia about 2 months ago, and recently been in the hospital with him for a week at a time, and it looks like he's going to be in there longer. He has developed a couple of infections and has no white blood count or ANC count to fight them off. Would like everyone to say a prayer for his son tonight. This gentleman has been watching our show for some time and subscribed a while back and participates in the live show when he can, if he's not with his son at the hospital. So please keep this young man in your thoughts and prayers. It's so important to all of us that the people that watch the show and join in the chat, that we keep them in mind. And I don't have the name and stuff here that I'm going to give out, but just remember this young man, your thoughts and prayers. We appreciate everybody so much that watches our show, and we need to make sure that we keep this kind of thing in mind. All right, Doc, let's let you talk a little bit and see how that works.
All right. Last time I couldn't sound. I could hear myself.
I can hear you great, but I could hear you great before.
What's up, guys? We all right?
Let us know in the chat if Doc's stuff is a little better now. Last week I had to wear the headphones.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal.
We'll get all this straightened out. We're still working on this. Yes, sir, Alexander. Glad to do it. Thank you so much for watching our show, and give that boy a hug for us. We appreciate you guys watching and tuning in every week. Doc, we going to do some talking about some stuff this week, and you and I was supposed to get together and we was going to talk to each other about what we thought was some of the most important things that we take when we go fishing. And with things working out the way it did, we didn't get together today to discuss what each other's things that we thought that we have to have to go in there, and we talked about 3 or 5 or how many ever we got. But there's a lot of important stuff that we got to have when we go fishing, whether it be for safety or whether it be for catching fish or equipment or whatever it is. So let's get started with that and see where we can go in the next 10 minutes before we have to get some stuff away.
Yeah, go ahead. Everybody's kind of got terrible. So
Terrible. Is it on Doc's end or mine?
I can hear it there too.
I can't hear it. I can't hear it, Cindy.
Okay.
It's not coming out of these speakers.
Okay.
Period. It's not, or I'd hear it. So I don't know. I don't hear it at all. I don't know where you're hearing it from.
Okay, I'll work. Go ahead and talk.
All right, hang on just a minute, Doc. Now, I said try to put mine on. Let's see if that works.
Hello, we still got it, guys. Oh, it went away.
It went away. Okay. Now we don't have to worry about it. We got it.
Still got it, guys? Let us know. I don't hear. I was hearing an echo coming off my voice, so I don't hear it now.
The only thing I hear is my neighbor just fired up her lawnmower and she's mowing her grass.
Stephen Hare says Lyle is clear. Doc has echo, but it works.
Oh, if it'll work.
Now they're saying good.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
There.
Okay, so we're good.
We're good. All right.
Sounds like he's in a tunnel. Yeah, I'm in a tunnel most of the time anyway.
You're in a tunnel working on a boat, man.
Yeah, that's right. Speaking of working on a boat, I ran into a situation today that a lot of boaters might have issues with, especially if they have a boat that stays outside. My old Pro Cat was in a barn most of his life. The new boat that I've got, it had been outside under one of those covers. But yesterday I put the 24-volt batteries in for the trolling motor. They go under the helm because this is a center console. On the Pro Cat, it was a lot easier because I used a crane to lower the batteries into the back of the Pro Cat. I can't do that with this boat. Well, I guess I could, but I got to physically lift them and put them in under the helm. But yesterday I put the batteries in it. Today I started hooking it up, and I run fuses on both positive and negative side of the batteries. Just a habit I'd gotten into being an electrician where I used to work at. We fused both positive and negative things. So I just continue it, on my boat. But today hooked them up and both positive and negative fuses blew. So put new fuses in, hooked them back up, boom, hit it again. So on the side of running down along the side of the boat is a big panel. And I ended up taking that panel off and started looking inside there. And at some point in time, 3 little squirrels had gotten inside this boat, and evidently before they passed away, they started chewing on the wires that housed the 24 volts, and they were touching against the boat. But luckily, the Alumacraft had plenty of wire in there, so I was able to cut those off and then reroute it and all that. But I was pretty impressed with the boat as a whole because it's built like a battleship, and all the wiring is in wire looms throughout the whole boat. So, back in 2006, these guys really did a nice job of setting this thing up. So, make a long story short, after I sucked up all the squirrels with the vacuum sweeper and the nuts and the leaves and everything else that was in there. And this is a real small area. It couldn't have been any bigger than maybe a 2-inch area. And they were packed in there. They say if a squirrel can get his nose in something, he'll work his way back in there. Well, 3 of the little babies didn't make it. So I sucked them all out and then ran everything. And so it's now functional.
That's awesome, man. And you're right. If a mouse or any kind of rodent like that can get its nose in a hole, it's going in. Vacuum sweepers, shop vacs especially, are so great for so many things. The other night I got ready. I take my dog out, late in the evenings, 10, 11 o'clock at night. Gives her a longer period of time in case I don't get up real early in the morning. And you have Stephen Hare, you are correct. Squirrels are just as bad or worse because they'll chew up everything. But I took the dog out, and there was one of them great big old spiders on the metal part of the garage door. And it now resides in the base of that shop vac. That's a wonderful place for it to live until I dump it out in the trash can. I have no use for them. I do wasp. Anything that gets in here that's not supposed to be in there is probably going to end up in that vacuum sweeper. So that's the perfect place for them mice.
Yeah, so
it really is.
So while I had that side panel, I just left it off because I got new electronics coming Wednesday, and I rather than take the panel back off and put it back on, I just left it off. So
that's wise. Knowing you're a Lowrance guy, did you get the new carbon?
no, I stayed with the HDS Live.
Okay.
I looked at a lot of reviews, and the guys that were running the carbons were getting their carbons taken back, and they were going to HDS Live. So that's what I ended up doing.
Okay.
The squirrel whisper thing.
I was just laughing about that. I thought that was hilarious, man.
So thanks, pal. No cats.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. I've been watching some of your videos. Nicely done. If you guys get a chance to go over and check out some of the videos he makes, he's been doing really well on some new stuff. So I've been enjoying them very much.
Yeah, so I got a 12-inch screen coming, which is what I had on the ProCat. I couldn't see paying an extra $1,200 for 2 more inches of screen. So
that's hard to do, isn't it?
Yeah. So and I like the 12. They also make a magnifier on the phone if I have to use it. So
is that just on your phone, or are those things available for other people?
What's that?
The magnifier. I didn't know that was available.
Yeah, you can download an app on the magnifier.
That's a great idea, because there's times when I could use that.
Use a lot.
Cliff Miller's in the house. I got to tell you something, Doc. Old Cliff, and you know this, but Cliff Miller had some cinnamon rolls made for him some time back, and we went to Fishing for Freedom in Quincy, Illinois. And we got a phone call the other day that Mindy and her family had went to Branson for a few days. They was on vacation, and they was going to stop by our house on the way back. And we only get to see Mindy once a year, so Cindy and I was really excited about it. And when I visited with her Friday, she said, "Tell Cindy to get some cinnamon rolls made." I said, "Well, good luck with that, because she ain't fixing me none, so I don't expect you to get any." But lo and behold, since I seen Cliff in there, how about some of this action, big boy? Cliff Miller, I know you're checking this out. Now, that's the only one, just one, that I had today, but she made enough so they could take some home with them when they showed up. And something come up where they didn't get to stop by the house. We was terribly disappointed. But the ones that she made for Mindy are frozen, and Cliff, I'm going to have them at a later date. So I'll let you know when them babies pop up, because I know Cliff Miller loves them cinnamon rolls, man.
Yeah. Now when he told me, now everybody listen to this. Now when he told me he had one, here's what I accused him of. I said 1 pan.
That's exactly what he said.
1 cinnamon roll.
Yep, I had 1 cinnamon roll, and that was early this morning, probably 9 or 10. Yeah, I haven't had one since, but it's early in the night. I'll spoon me up one of them, put it on a paper plate, put some butter on that baby, and stick it in the microwave for about 15 or 20 seconds. One probably won't get by tonight, Doc. It's probably going to take 2. So
I know. Roger Dement. Yeah, that's just mean. You're right. That's right.
There's a lot of things that Cindy does well. I'm going to guess that cinnamon rolls, I don't know, pecan pie, she's really good at them too. But them cinnamon rolls, they're pretty special.
Yeah. John, he hasn't showed the other pan yet, John. So
they're in the freezer. I wasn't kidding. She put them in the freezer. Yep. Yeah, I am, Justin. I am teasing you guys because, Doc, last week everybody in chat was on me pretty hot and heavy because I had made a mistake.
Oh, you made a mistake.
I did. There's nobody in the world that hates to fess up to a mistake any more than me, but I will do it. Yeah. If I make one, I'll own up to it. Tomorrow will be our 42nd wedding anniversary.
What are you looking at me for?
Am I right?
Are you?
Yeah, I think I am. We got married. Tomorrow will be 42 years. Cindy was just a baby. She was 15 years old. Nobody thought that it would work. And here we are 42 years later just killing it. So Wouldn't trade her for anything. She keeps fixing me food. I keep getting fatter all the time. Fatter and happier makes a happy Lyle. So it's been a great ride, and I hope we get 42 more. But I'm pretty sure in 42 more years she'll be ready to kick me out. No cinnamon rolls or nothing.
There's my buddy Stacy in the house.
Absolutely, Stacy Gaston.
He was putting us. Him and Joey Kirby was putting a smack down on the Alabama Cats last week.
They was laying them out. They was down there doing good. K&B, I don't share cinnamon rolls or pecan pie usually. Now, Mindy, you have to understand, we see Mindy up at Fishing for Freedom every year. She is a very, very special lady to us. She actually fished one of those events with us. And when she wanted cinnamon rolls, Cindy, she told me here a while back there wasn't going to be any more cinnamon rolls. But when Mindy said she was coming,
I took her some too.
Yeah.
She actually took her some at Fishing for Freedom this year, and Cliff Miller got some. And Mindy wasn't going to share hers with anybody, but she did give Randall some of them. And I think Randall was going to camp out on her door till he got one, pretty much. But them are some great folks up there. So everybody that if you love your military folks like we do,
Yep.
please consider the first weekend of June every year. Fishing for Freedom in Quincy. It's the greatest event you'll ever attend, I promise you.
Now,
Thanks, everybody.
I want to share with everybody. I talked to a gentleman the other morning at breakfast at a Cracker Barrel, and I noticed he had a Navy hat on. And his wife got up and walked away, and I said something to him. I said, "Hey, were you on a ship?" He goes, "Actually, I was on 4 ships." And he was in the Navy for 4 years, and he was on he told me he was on 2 destroyers and 2 frigates. Is that correct? I don't know much about the ships or anything like that. So, and he told me he traveled all over all over the world and everything. But he said it was in between what he called the Cold War, between Vietnam and Korean War or something like that. It was pretty interesting listening to him. So.
Absolutely. I love visiting with those guys, and as you
Yeah.
well know, when we go someplace to eat, I did it down at Owensboro. I do it everywhere we go. If we're in a restaurant and there's military folks there, I'll always walk up and shake their hand. Even if we're late running to go place, I do that every time. Those guys deserve a lot more than I can give to them, so I try to do that everywhere. I see a message here that Cliff Hovis wanted to see your cup.
Oh, my cup? Oh, yeah. A flathead cup? There it is, right there.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. So I ended up, I grabbed my server, and I picked up his meal and just, walked out. Never said anything to him. I love doing that, So, and I'm sure some of these guys are used to it where people just pick up their bill and go. But it was a pleasure sitting there talking to that gentleman.
One of the finest military stories I got right quick. Before I do, J.R. Bird, I hope you find who got your truck, and I hope that they shut their wiener in the door, because that's just ridiculous, people stealing stuff like that with all your fishing equipment in it. I was at a Golden Corral one night eating by myself. And across the room, this place was packed. There was a military guy. There's people waiting to sit down. He was over there eating by himself. When the waitress come by, I asked her to please go over and see if that guy would like to join me for dinner, not knowing if he would even do it or not. And he picked his plate up, and he come over there and sat down and visited with me. We stayed there for probably 45 minutes. It was one of the greatest times of my life as far as having dinner with a stranger goes, and never seen him before, never seen him again, probably never will, but I hope he remembers that memory like I do, because it was sure a lot of fun. And he was just kind of passing through, and the waitress says, "Are you sure?" I said, "Absolutely, bring him over here." And we Cindy and I, she'll go to a store sometimes, and I'll stay outside, and I'll see one of the guys walking in with his wife or girlfriend or kids or by himself, and I'll make an effort, because they deserve it. They sure do.
These guys are slow tonight. We're 5 minutes late on spinning the wheel.
Holy moly!
And nobody said anything. They must be into what we're talking
They
about.
must be. Doc, give me a number.
Number 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the winner is Chrissy Brown. Congratulations, Chrissy. Yeah, they must have really been had their attention.
Usually they start lighting this up pretty quick.
Yeah.
Might not work.
It'll work.
We are entertained, is what Roger Dement says.
Bless his heart for that.
Oh, you didn't put it on the wheel.
Oh, I didn't switch it. Mud Bum Supply Shack. Chrissy, if you'll contact good folks at Mud Bum Supply Shack, tell them you won on the Rig Wrap prize wheel. They will hook you up with a gift certificate to their store. Thank you so much for watching our show and playing the Rig Wrap prize wheel game. The Mud Bums have been with us for quite some time. They do a fantastic job. They got everything you could ever want. You enjoy your gift certificate, and I will message them tonight after the show and let them know that you was a winner, and that way they know for sure that things are going. Congratulations again, Chrissy. All right, Doc, let's get on with what we had talked about. Do you have a list of stuff that you think are the most important things you take when you go fishing?
I don't have a list. I got a few things. One of the most important things that I think is having a fire extinguisher.
That's a great one.
But most people, this is what they carry. This is like what is it? The general insurance for your car.
That's probably the lowest end you can get.
Yeah, this is the minimum. You know, if you have a fire on board a boat, this thing ain't going to do nothing for you. So what I do is I carry the big dog.
That's right.
Right here. I carry, and actually I carry 2 of these. And this one I got to have it recharged. And the reason I carry 2 is if I use one, I still got the one on board the boat, and the man doesn't take excuses. If he pulls you over and you got a discharged fire extinguisher, he's going to write you up a ticket. So, and the reason I carry 2 is I can just take this thing, I can pull up next to a boat that is on fire, and I've done this several times throughout my career as being on a boat, and just hand them this big fire extinguisher, and that thing will put out fairly good boat fire. You know, I've seen it a couple of times. Just toss it to the guy, and you know, he puts it out. The thing of it is, with these fire extinguishers, whatever they touch, you need to get that powder off of there as quickly as you can, because if it gets wet or damp, it's explosive, so it's going to eat wires. You know, you're just going to have a mess you're going to have a mess anyway when you have a fire. But yeah, fire extinguishers. That's one of my big deals on board a boat.
That is very good. We have one just like that, and we also carry 2. I think that's a great idea because you never know if something would happen. It's important that you have enough there to get it taken care of.
Correct.
You know, because once they take off, it's hard to slow them down. You're out in the middle of the lake or in the middle of the river, you're in trouble. So 2 fire extinguishers is what we do, and one of those big ones, they're rated to stop any type of fire, and that's the exact one that we have.
Yeah, and you know, most people put them in cabinets. I keep them out. I mean, these things are weatherproof. You know, they're not going to hurt anything. You know, you can have you can get a cover put around them and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We keep ours in the boat all the time, and all we have to do is lift the door up. It's right there. It's not a problem. So I just see if you can see the number. Mm-hmm. But you know, that's something you got to have. The other thing, one of the things that I think is most important, and I had that on my list, but my thing is personal flotation device.
Yep.
It's not only required by law, it's common sense. And I don't know anybody in the world that is more faithful about wearing one than you are, Doc. I mean, Been in a boat with you several times, and you are always usually have it on when you get in a boat, but it's always on when we go. I can only remember moving one time for a very short distance. It was really, really hot, and you didn't have it on, but most of the time you never, ever take it off.
Right.
So, Carl, I do not.
And with the new designs that they have in them, those things are pretty comfortable.
They really are, and the mesh backs makes them a little bit cooler in the summertime, and they're so adjustable you can put them over just about any kind of clothes that you want. But always have a spare or two in case somebody else wants to jump in the boat with you.
Yeah, and again, if you're using one of the automatics, you have to have another regular PFD in the cabinet. So just keep that in mind, guys.
That's exactly right. Cindy's
So
trying
if it gets discharged, then you don't have one. Even though they got the blow up tubes.
Yeah.
If you fall over, you're not going to be blowing that thing up. You want that thing to go off right now.
That's right.
You got enough here.
Oh yeah, I got plenty there. Mine has to be fully adjustable. That's what happens, Doc. He's talking about all this. Them adjustable things are for us full-figured guys.
That's right.
We get full-figured in a different way than the ladies do.
Yeah, that's right.
Another thing I got is your floatable. Somebody mentioned that in the chat. Again, that's something we have a couple of. One of them is in pristine condition, the other not so much. But if a couple people are leaning out of the boat to pick up a fish or wash their hands or whatever, anything can happen. And that's just something that I feel that's really important. And it is required by law to have one in there. And by the way, for those of you that don't know, having it in the boat's one thing, but it has to be out where you can readily grab that, according to the Coast Guard. We never used to do that. We just leave them put up, and they told us specifically they had to be out where you could readily grab it and throw it.
Yeah, most of the time I'm sitting on mine. It can't have rips and tears.
No.
If it's got a tear or something, you got to get rid of it. I mean, they're only $14 or something like that.
Yeah, money well spent. Keep the old one for the spare.
Yeah, so.
They don't take up much space. Secondary bilge pump. That's a great one, Alexander. Sure is.
Charger for your phone.
Charger for your phone, Cindy says. I got some more. How about you? Got another one, Doc?
Yes, sir.
All
right. Tool pack. I carry the bags. What's in? And I'll show you. It's electrical tape.
Yep.
Yeah, you always got to have electrical tape. There's a screwdriver in here. I got Allen wrench. Allen wrench. It just seems like the boat manufacturers are starting to go to a lot of the socket head Allen heads on the boat. And those things loosen up and you don't have a way to tighten them. Just real handy. My big thing here in my toolbox are wire ties.
Ties are awesome.
These things are just, you can't have enough of these. My good friend Rob Benningfield one year was down on the Mississippi River, and I had said something to him, He had asked me, what all I carry. I said, well, I carry a lot of wire ties in my thing. Well, it just happened to be that he knocked his transducer off of the back of the boat. So what did he do? He, now his eyes are gone. He doesn't know what's going on. So he goes to the bank and he finds a stick. And then he wire tied that stick, because I laughed at it, but hey, it worked. And he wire tied the transducer, a Lowrance transducer, to that stick, and then wire tied the stick right to the back of the boat.
Great.
I think he ended up second in the tournament. So that was pretty cool. I carry an assortment of wrenches in here, and one of the important things is this wrench right here. I gotta get it right there. A lot of people don't know maybe what this is, but that is how, if you shear a pin on your trolling motor, that's what you use to take the nut off of the trolling motor is that. So
nice. I've never seen one of them.
Yeah, this is I've made a couple of them. This one was it came with my trolling motor. The other thing, spare boat plugs, that kind of stuff.
Cindy just sold me that spare boat plugs. Everybody should have 2 or 3 of them. There's, for $1.50. There's no sense of having just one.
Well, they're not $1.50 anymore, Lyle. I just bought a couple of new ones, and they're like $3.25 right now at Walmart.
I'll pick you up some over here for less.
Okay. So
emergency kit, that's another great one. There was 2 or 3 of them that fled by. Spare fuses was one of them.
Yes. That's in part of my maintenance thing.
First aid kit, Joey Kirby, he's trying to take mine, but I'm not going to. We have spare batteries in our boat, but this is extremely important to have it on there. A lighter and water is also good. You got to stay hydrated, and there's so many uses for a lighter. But before we get too carried away, Doc, how about we go ahead and give something else away? Yeah, wow. Cindy, give me a number. What was that?
1.
Well, that's what I thought. Doc, you missed that, Doc.
She gave you the number 1, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
I knew what that was.
Stanley Brown. Yeah, you've seen it all.
I've seen that. Yes, sir.
2 browns in a row.
Yeah, that is 2 browns in a row. I don't think that they're related, though.
Put it on just you.
Let me put it over here this time. Find my mouse here. Okay.
Surprised it works after the grandkids.
B&M. Stanley, if you'll contact me after the show, we will hook you up with something product from B&M. You'll enjoy it, I promise. Thanks so much for watching Catfish Weekly, and thank B&M for being a sponsor to us all this time. We appreciate everything they do, not just for Catfish Weekly, but for the entire sport of fishing. I'm trying to get my mouse over there. There we go.
You just got me.
Oh, I went to the wrong one. How about we try this one?
All right.
Maybe that'll do it. There we go.
Trying to pick up a mess here. Next, I'm going to jump in here.
Go ahead.
Gulu. Everybody knows, I've talked about this. I think this was one of my
tips of the week.
A long time ago. This is a jump pack that's real small, and believe it or not, I used this one time on my Pro Cat because I had too much stuff going on. Went to start it up during the day. It's got a set of real short battery cables, but man, I tell you what, I had a dead battery, and I just put that thing on there, and boom, it brought life back to the old Suzuki. So this is another one of my go-to things that I think I got to have on board the boat. So,
it still amazes me, Doc, as small as that is, that it'll start a engine of a boat. And I think we talked about this when you talked about that before. Cindy got a deal. They was discontinuing jump packs, and they had a couple of different sizes, and she got out and told me about it, and she bought the biggest jump box that you could buy. And when we leave to go somewhere, that's in the truck, and when we get it to the boat, we've never had battery problems for a long time. The last time we had battery problems was at the first or second Winter Blues on Wheeler. But since then, we never forgot it. That's the same day I broke a key off in it. But we keep that jump pack, and you can, like I say, they're not as small as that, but they're not very big, and we just put it in a live well that we don't use underneath the back seat, and works out really well. And if somebody else has problems, we can also assist them without jumper cables and take a chance on sparks and stuff like that. If you leave your lights on in the truck and you go back and they're dead, like it happened to us at Winter Blues again 2 or 3 years after that. We didn't have it, but now we got it. So it's not, it's just something that works out really well for us. Another thing is the best equipment that you can buy, whether it be rods, reels, hooks, terminal tackle, fresh bait, anything like that you can go to make your trip a success, is money and time well spent. It doesn't have to be the best stuff in the world, but buy the best stuff you can afford and you're happy with. Sometimes you get stuff that is cheap that you like better. And sometimes you have to spend a little more to get what you like, but the best stuff that you can buy that's affordable. Greg, that's a great suggestion as a marine radio. Ricky Brackett recommended me that years and years ago, and every year I say I'm going to get one, and every year for some reason I don't. And I think that everybody should have a marine radio, whether you're trying to contact the people at a dam or whether you're having issues. There's so many uses a marine radio could be for someone that's out on the water.
Yeah. And one of my top things, thermocell.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the last time I was in Alabama, them bloodthirsty dudes came out during the daytime. Somebody,
Jeremy Beecham, you are 100% correct. Thermocells, they are great. But after Cindy's had her issue with the skin cancer, sunscreen is extremely important to us. In fact, we usually put it on before we leave a motel or leave the house. That way we don't forget to do it when we get on the water.
And then we bring them with us.
And we also take extra in the boat. Carl, you don't have a 14-foot John boat, but I do appreciate that. But they make little bags and stuff that you can keep this stuff in. And one of my favorite things in the world for carrying stuff in is Ziploc baggies. They won't keep things 100% waterproof, but they make a big difference. And you can put everything, your cell phone, your sunscreen, baby, whatever it is that you take with you, you can put it in there if you don't want it to get wet, and Ziploc it up, stick it in a bag, and even a 14-foot John boat's got room for that. Oh, good, Palmetto Cats. I'm glad that you did, because you'll like that. I watched a video of his, Doc, and his wife was with him in the boat, and the mosquitoes was eating them alive. And on the bottom of the video, I made a comment to get that woman a thermocell. She'll love him for it, I promise you, man.
Yeah.
Them things do great work. Putting a thermocell behind your windshield helps, and it fights bugs better.
Really?
I hadn't thought of that, but that's an idea, because they do
that would
push the
it
stuff
up.
out. Gotcha.
Yeah.
One of the things, if you're fishing at night, Doc, and I know you're aware of this, but a lot of people may not. One of the biggest things that attracts bugs around where I'm sitting in the driver's seat is the light on the depth finder. And if you'll dim that or turn it off, your life will be so much happier. I promise you, because they will come up there around them lights on that depth finder. Now, we have big lights that extend up when we night fish. I think they're, 12 foot, Cindy?
What?
And they shine back. We crisscross them so we don't have shadows, so we can film. I mean, you can read books back there. You can film off of them. You can do amazing things out there. The bugs stay up there. But if that light's on at that depth finder, a high percentage of them will find their way down through there. If you don't have a thermocell going, they'll be chewing on your back while you're sitting there waiting for a bite. So turn that down. You'll be a lot happier.
Yeah, that was my next thing, Glenn. You got to have a rig pack.
That is
Got to
exactly
have a
right.
rig pack on board the boat. Well, I keep mine in my tackle bag. So actually, I got that one tackle bag I got from Cascade. Got both of them in it.
It's wrote down right there.
Yeah.
Keep all your terminal tackle in a Rig Pack 60. It's just easy. If you're day fishing, it makes it faster. If you're in a tournament, you're just so much faster. I've had them up on pool noodles, and I've tried them in Ziploc bags. They're always tangled up. They're always a mess. That Rig Pack 60, and there's room in it for other stuff. I mean, all of the things besides lead weights that we use goes in my Rig Pack 60. So I just need a little something to go over it, which is on its way. Glenn will be getting some of them for us to see here before long, to hold the few things that you don't use in there. So I'm excited about that.
Gotta have these.
It won't be long. And the other thing that everybody should have, Cindy just pulled them up,
Ceramac scissors.
Ceramac scissors. They are the greatest thing in the world. Ask Dieter. He cut off a fin that a catfish had stuck him. He cut it off of that fish, and so he could get to the hospital one time. I've cut, what was it, 6 or 8 strands of 80-pound and 100-pound braid on the show one night, Doc. They're amazing stuff, and if you are in a bind and you need to get something cut, Cindy cut off a strap on a hat at the chick fights last year where it got tangled up in Nikki's reel as she was reeling one of those big fish in, and they couldn't get it out, and Cindy just went to whacking Ceramac scissors. Honest to God, they're the greatest invention. I know Glenn's got a lot of cool stuff out here, but these things here, they're amazing, and they last a long time. Long time. Yes, Stephen, you're right, they do. Now they're on Glenn and not us, Doc.
Yeah.
And
if you like the Rig Pack 60, y'all are going to love what's coming.
Yeah, that's for sure. Ernie Brown says he uses a solar rope light from Harbor Freight. They're dim enough to see and no bugs. Well, bugs, from what I've been told, the bugs go to the heat, not the light. Is that correct, Doc?
I don't know.
I've read that a number of.
They must go to the heat because they're all over me.
Yeah, well, that they tell me that they're attracted. Yeah, they tell me they're attracted to the heat and not so much the light. But I know one of our favorite places up home to fish used to be below the Clarksville Dam, and that dams are lit up, man. And if you look up there around that dam at night, it would look like clouds of bugs in front of each one of them. But really, down on the water, there wasn't near as many bugs. We could sit down there and fish below that dam. You know, you got a line, you can only get so close. But we didn't have too many bug issues fishing below the dam there. I loved fishing up there. We caught some great fish up there night after night. We'd go down there, and there was a lot of times when it was hot like it was today. Cindy and I'd leave at, 9, 10 o'clock, and we'd fish till 4 or 5 in the morning or maybe later than that. But we was always gone.
And your brother went to our spot the second
Yeah, he
night
did.
and caught that big fish.
We was always gone before it got hot, but when it gets like this, it's just miserable out there. Yeah, my brother went down there. I caught a big old flathead down there one night. The next night we went back. My brother was sitting in that spot, and he caught a 65-pound blue out of the same place. So that's them dams. They're the biggest piece of structure in a river, man. I love fishing them, but they do bear some. But you have to pay attention.
All right, next is I carry spare line. Now this is monofilament, and I also carry braid. And as you can see, I keep mine vacuum packed up. That way the moisture doesn't get to it, and it just kind of, just protects it. So that's one of the have-tos for me.
I never thought of vacuum packaging line, but that's a great idea. It would keep any element from getting to it, probably make it last a lot longer.
Yeah. So, and if it is out in the sun a little bit, it's not going to be near as damaged as, as while it's sitting on a reel.
That's exactly right. What?
And it will float.
Hey, Cindy said it might float that
That's
way.
right. And it does. If you drop it overside, it'll pop back up.
That's awesome.
Only because I won't say I've got experience at it, but I got experience at it.
I understand. Hey, guess what time it is, Doc?
That time again, oh man.
It is. I've been trying to watch it, so they was so good not to get us on us the first time. I thought I'd pay attention to it this time.
There you go.
Give me another number.
3.
1, 2, 3. Maurice Kaysen. Congratulations, Maurice. Yes. Do I want to flip it?
The wheel.
I'm getting there. There we go. Hooker's Terminal Tackle. Maurice, if you will contact James over at Hooker's Terminal Tackle and tell him that you was a winner on the rig wrap prize wheel, he will hook you up with some great Mad Catter hooks. Is that what they are? Mad Catters. We want to thank you for watching the show tonight, Maurice, and James R. Wood. Hooker's Terminal Tackle, Doc, they've been with us, I believe, since we got the prize wheel.
Yeah, I believe
he's
so.
one of the original people that jumped on it when we first got it. He's been here ever since. There was a post made about how many had been sold and how many had been used, and I commented on that, and Dieter Melhorn got on it and was making comments. But I'm sure that we've given away more Hooker's Terminal Tackle hooks than anybody. We really give away a lot of them the last 2 or 3 years, and they're a great product, and we appreciate everything that they do for us. It means the world to us. All right. What else you got, Doc?
Catfish Weekly, do they make black vacuum seal bags to protect your line from the sun? I've never seen them.
I haven't either, but I can probably find out. But the reason I say that, we have a son that works at a factory in St. Louis that makes those bags. And trash bags and all kinds of stuff like that. So I'll ask Marky.
Mr. Gadget said just place the line in a brown bag and then Ziploc or vac bag.
That's a great idea.
Boom.
Yep. That is awesome. Great idea. Said he come home from the grocery store the other day, Doc, with brown paper bags. When was the last time that you brought brown paper bags home from a store?
Yeah, it's either plastic. Well, Kroger's got that. I got the cloth bags that I take when I go shopping. And I've never seen a brown bag.
I haven't seen a brown paper bag in years.
I was a youngster.
Yeah, it's been forever. I was shocked, and she don't like them anyhow, so I was really shocked at that.
Oil on the boat.
A quart of oil on the boat, another great idea, especially for 2 strokes.
That's right. For us 4-stroke users, I always check my oil before I ever go on a trip anyway.
Yeah, I do too. Spare prop, cotter pins, another great idea. If you happen to have an old boat motor that requires the old pin for the prop, shear pin, have plenty of those. I used to make mine because when we was younger and had prop that had shear pins in them, I was constantly shearing them off. So I would find the right size diameter in a welding rod and make them the right length and just cut them off, and that's what I used for shear pins for years because I got tired of buying them. Nobody ever had the right size in stock, so you just knock off the flux off them things and find one that's tight in the hole and just go at it.
What?
Liquor bags at Catfish Weekly. You know what? I'm pretty sure I could probably come up with one that fast. I contacted John Nordyke's wife. Oh, it's been some time ago. And Lois is a big quilt maker. She's really into that and she makes some of the most beautiful quilts you ever seen. And I was trying to figure how many of those Crown Royal bags it would take to make a quilt. And I think I'm a few shy because it'd take a bunch of them, but I've got them in every size from the half pints to the pints to the fifths to the half gallons. But I've been collecting them a long time, and I'm pretty sure that I could get them. But them half gallon ones, they're real big. The fifths and the others, they get a lot smaller, but I got a lot of them. I've got them out in the shed. I hope I don't get a mouse in there. I really thought that would make a really neat quilt, but from what Lois was telling me, I don't think I have near enough of them because I didn't realize that you got to. Well, I did, but you got to space them a certain way to make it look right, and it'd take a lot of them. Flex seal.
Yeah. Contractor in a can. That's what we always called this stuff.
I've never tried that. I don't know anything about it. But
it's like fishing lures.
It's trying to attract the guy.
Fishing lures are made to attract people, not fish. So
I agree with that 100%.
That's my take on Flex Seal. But oh well, it is what it is. there was somebody here that was my next thing I was getting ready to say. And let me, where's it at? I carry a multimeter. Being an electrician, I've got one of the really good flukes. But, most people won't have the high dollar fluke that I carry. But Michael Malott, that's who it was. Yeah, carry a multimeter. I mean, it's good to see if your batteries are taking a dump or if
That's
your
right.
stator is charging. So, yeah, I do carry that. That was my next thing. I didn't have it here with me, but that was the next thing I was getting ready to
I
say.
used to have a fluke and dropped it and broke it and bought a snap-on to replace it. It wasn't no cheaper, but it sure don't do the things that fluke would do.
Yeah.
It sure
Old
don't.
helicopter. Yeah. Jeremy Beecham, the old helicopter lure commercials. Yeah.
Yeah. There's still a bunch of that stuff online.
Oh, yeah.
All kinds of stuff that people are buying and selling, but like you say, they're attracting fishermen, and there's a lot of stuff that's on there like that. It's not just them. Boat paddle, that's another good one, required by law. Required by law.
Yep. So
Drop the
I never had one on my Sea Ark. I never carried a boat paddle.
Really?
Yeah, and it's not here in Ohio. You don't have to have one. You are required to carry an anchor.
Wire.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Well, extra plug wires.
Yes.
Well, that's something that I don't have, but it's not a bad idea at all.
Yeah. I've never had that issue yet.
No, but it could happen at any time, I'm pretty sure. Especially on older motors.
Yeah.
Anything like that. Been a lot of fun. We had a lot of good, cool stuff brought up besides what we had. Yeah, a paddle is required in Missouri too, Jerry. Sure is.
The old gator bait. Oh, wow.
That is old.
That goes back a ways.
Yes, it does.
Oh, man.
That's some old stuff. Some of these guys been around as long as you and I, Doc.
I know.
Craziness. That's all the stuff that I had wrote down for tonight's show. I'm glad everybody was chiming in with some extra stuff for us. That was really cool.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. There's some great ideas that people have brought in here.
Yeah, we had a lot of good stuff come up.
Yeah, toilet paper.
KB Angler says his wife is mad because she didn't see nothing about the number one important thing on the boat. Oh, man, tell her I'm so sorry, but I promise you it's on our boat.
Yes.
I promise you it is. And you're
Yeah.
right. We've talked about this many times, Doc. You and I have on the show, and besides that, the 5-gallon bucket with the pool noodle around it and the sack inside of it is something, but you don't really have to have the sack. You can wash the thing out when things are done. Front live wells are also a great place for people to use, especially the ladies. They're the ones that seem to have the issue on the boat. It's not quite the same for you and I. We can just kind of make it work, but front live wells are a good thing, and people forget that if it's a built-in live well, it has a water in and a water out, so you can just rinse it out and go on. So, but yeah, the toilet paper, that's a good one, and I apologize to your wife for not thinking of that, because that is really important. But like I said, it is in our boat. Baby wipes, that's another good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Cindy's got them. We got, what was it that you had on the show here a while back, Doc? It was about the Armor All wipes.
The glass
cleaner. Cindy keeps glass cleaner in the boat,
And the Armor All
and we keep the screen cleaner to clean off the
Armor All wipes.
Armor All wipes.
When we're in
Yep.
tournaments,
Yep.
things.
Yep. A lot of fun with that kind of stuff. Put out a strip of gator bait. Glass cleaner. Yep, he's got her all, man. Yes, sir, Jeremy, you're right. Congratulations to Joshua Flemings and Matt Sanders for winning the Reed Classic in St. Joe, Missouri. brought them nearly 20,000, which included. They bought themselves in the Calcutta. That's awesome, man.
Wow.
That's a great night. Great, congratulations to them guys. Yeah, boys, I'm going to tell you again now. Doc and I are happy to announce tournaments that you want talked about, and we're more than happy to do the results. But you have to send them to us either on Facebook or email them to us at catfishweeklytv@gmail.com, because we just can't go back and try to find all that stuff. It's always in different areas and different stuff, but we're happy to announce it. But you got to get it to us, and it's really a lot better if you can do it before the show, because going through here, I happen to see that. Sometimes we don't see everything that goes on in chat. Sometimes it goes so fast that we can't catch it all.
You need to take an extra hat.
Oh, Cindy just come up with a great idea, Doc. An extra hat in a boat.
Yeah.
How many have we blowed out going down the water or fell off your head? By the time you turn the boat and turn around, once in a while you'll get one, but most of the time it's gone.
Yeah.
So that's a great idea. Keep an extra hat in the boat. Mike Sanders. I was just reading what was on there.
Yeah, Cliff Miller. First aid kit. Yeah, we said the first aid kit.
Yep.
So there's another good one. K&B Angler. Purell hand sanitizer.
Cindy has Purell hand sanitizer in the boat and truck. Yep, that's good stuff.
I learned that little trick after Lisa fished with me. She had that stuff, and now I carry it all the time.
Yep.
In fact, I've got it in my bag here along with sunscreen.
Yep. Jeff Manning is holding a Grand Slam tournament on Lake Wiley this weekend. I'm really intrigued by that, Doc. You have to catch a flathead, a blue catfish, and a channel catfish.
Trifecta.
You got to have the trifecta. I think that is a great venue. Very excited to see how the results on that is. I hope they do a live feed so we can watch it. Spare navigation light bulbs and backups, that's a good idea. Knife to cut anchor ropes. We keep one in the front and the rear of the boat in case somebody's leg or something gets tied up in there, and I highly recommend that people do that. A lot of people's got a knife in there to cut bait, and they've got it in case something happens. But if you're using anchors, your foot can get tangled, or throwing a cast net, your foot can get tangled up in that anchor rope so fast. And everybody doesn't carry pocket knives like they once did, because everybody be so offended that you'd have one in public, but have one at the front and the rear of your boat, and have it where somebody, if you fall in, they can just cut that rope. It's just wise to get it out of there. Steve Douglas, the catfish dude, says something we forgot about. An extra prop is a great thing. Doc, we've all hit stuff in the water. Steve is 100% correct. If you got a spare prop, you can go put your boat on the trailer, take that nut off, put a new pin in there, put a new prop on, and you're out of there, man.
Yeah, ask Tommy Walsh when I pulled the spare prop out and handed it to him. I said, "Here." I said, "This has never been on this Pro Cat." And he looked at it. He goes, "How many years was the original on there?" I said, 10 years. And he goes, "It's not even dinged up." I said, "Yeah." So I said, he goes, "Well, that's going to change."
Well, he's on the Illinois River, so yeah, that's probably right. Dwayne Buckridge says they got 6 or 7 knives in the boat at all time. Dwayne, that is a great idea. We have more than 2, but we've always got one in the front and one in the rear, and everybody knows where they're at. You know, if you get on the boat, that's
got one on my pocket too.
One of the first things that we tell everybody, Doc, and I know that you and I have done this, when you get on the boat, there's a knife here and a knife there. We got one in the back we're cutting bait with, or if we're in the front cutting bait, you'll know where that one's at. But the other one is where stuff will happen. So you need to make sure everybody knows where the other one's at, too, if you have more than one.
Right.
Spin one more time. What an idea.
Oh, man. That time. Yeah.
Number 2, she says. She won't talk tonight. 1, 2, and the winner is Jordan. Lear, Leer. Congratulations, Jordan. Oh, up, wait.
I am.
Yep.
Do your job.
Yes, it was. Chubby Fish Outdoors. Jordan, if you will contact the good folks at Chubby Fish Outdoors, you can contact them on Facebook and tell them that you won on the Rig Wrap Prize Wheel watching Catfish Weekly. They will send you out a prize package from their selection of great products. We appreciate you watching the show, and thank you guys at Chubby Fish so much for being a part of the Rig Wrap Prize Wheel. We got gonna have some openings coming up on the prize wheel here shortly, so stay tuned to see who the new guys will be to fill those spots.
Yeah, Steve Douglas had a good one, spare battery for the remotes. Now, I know on the Rodan, I always change it out at the beginning of the year, and then it would last it. But with the Rodan trolling motor, you get 2 remotes. Tommy called me today and told me that that thing's got him spoiled because I showed him how to fish barges and different things. So the Rodan is really, he's loving the Rodan.
Yeah,
He goes, I don't know how to act with not throwing an anchor.
Oh, he's going to love that. Cindy keeps a spare batteries for all kinds of stuff in the bag that she carries, and a lot of for the trolling motor remote and stuff like that. I also keep spare batteries for cameras, or GoPros, everything that we do. We have spares. She usually has a spare, and I usually, in my camera bag, I've usually got spare batteries in there too. So we probably are not going to run out of batteries, but it only has to happen to you once to ruin your trip.
That's right.
Just one time.
And now that I've downsized, it's going to be kind of unique. I'm not going to have the room to store things like I did before in the ProCat.
Right.
So I'm going to have to come up with something a little bit another way to carry the stuff I normally carry.
Yeah. Raincoat, that's another great idea. And if you're running low on area to put those raincoats, you put them in a plastic bag, vacuum seal them up, and they shrink way small.
Mm-hmm. Cliff Miller. Those guys are tough enough to fish against. Don't make it easier on them. Oh yeah, it's got.
No, you can't.
Cindy won't get on here tonight and tell everybody. She has a great suggestion for the women that go fishing with their husbands or boyfriends or whatever. It's very inexpensive. It's hot this time of the year, but if you need to use the bathroom,
a poncho. She
uses a poncho, just an old green poncho that she picked up at a yard sale somewhere. You can put that over you, and nobody's got a clue what you're going on unless they figured out why you have that poncho on. They're fast to put on, fast to take off. They block anybody from seeing any of your business that you're doing, and she's been using that for how long?
Or you can buy a poncho at
you can buy it at Walmart or anywhere.
Yeah.
But she's had that thing for, oh my God, 10 years at least. And it's always in the boat, and she slips that on. Nobody's got a clue what she's doing. They are a little warm, so you don't want to spend the day doing it. But, you just slip it on, slip it off. Nobody's the wiser. Because I have seen my son use a 5-gallon bucket in a boat and not care. Absolutely not care. We was in a tournament, and guys he got between the consoles of the boat and on a bucket, and nobody knew what he was doing. But I could have had my way with him that day, because a bunch of the guys that I knew from years and years and years ago was really close to us, and I was nice to him that time. But it is what it is.
Hey, Jerry Inchcomber.
Hey, Jerry. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good, Jerry. Doc, you should come fish the Cabela's tournament the first week in September on the Illinois River. The channel cat are biting good. Tommy can give you all the info. Actually, I'm fishing. I'm going to fish Rising Sun, and Tommy invited me to come up and fish that with him, so I won't be able to make it. Brad Beck says, my wife says, thank you for the poncho idea.
Brad, you're very welcome. She can thank Cindy for that idea. It's worked for her for a long time. And
they're dictator chip.
That's right.
That's funny.
That's kind of what I do, but you know.
Plastic coffee can to pee in.
Coffee can to pee in, yep. Coffee cans, they make little 2.5 gallon buckets. Also work really well. I'm trying not to say what I want to. I really am trying not to say this, but it's hard. 5 gallon bucket, keep the lid tight.
I know where you're going.
Oh man! I swear to God.
Do you have a countdown to PK Cat Masters? No, I haven't done that one yet. But I do have Mississippi River Monsters, which is 39 days, Lyle.
It's getting close.
23 hours, 53 minutes, and 8 seconds. Wow, time is flying by.
Mr. Gadget says a coffee can won't hold enough.
No.
He's been storing it up way too long, Doc.
Yeah.
Oh man! If a coffee can, they're a pound coffee can. If that won't hold it, you've been waiting way too long.
Well, I'll tell you what. I've spent enough time on the boat
with
Lyle
Carl
and Cindy, and I'm telling you, that lady's got some good hover skills.
Yes, she does.
You know,
that's exactly where I was going too, Doc.
Yeah, I couldn't
Doc
believe
says you
it.
got good hover skills. I swear to God, Doc, I don't know how women can do that and hit such small items. It just blows my mind. It's amazing the control and
no, she'd bring that little thing out and she goes, "Okay, Doc, face to the back," and I face to the back, and I say, "Man, I can't even do that off of the back of the boat."
No kidding, man. That's exactly right. I don't know how they do that and never get a drop anywhere, and I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, I wish I was that good at that. It is what it is. Cliff Miller says, Doc, come fish the tournament the second weekend of September, $20,000 to win at the Alton Catfish Classic. It's going to be a lot of fun down there.
Yeah, and actually I am fishing that. I got a call from Cliff, from Hugh Thompson, Hugh and Rose. They asked me to fish it with them. So I am going to that.
Okay. Jerry says this show took a bad turn. Yes, Jerry, it's not that bad. It's all things that we have to go through, man. Hey, by the way, Doc, in case you didn't notice, and I think it was the week before, Jerry Diller just got married. Congratulations, Jerry.
Congratulations.
We are, seen a bunch of the pictures. Looked like you guys had a great wedding and everything went fine. I know that you guys have been together for a long time.
Fly.
Oh, a fly. I thought you was beating on me. So congratulations to you both. It was great seeing that on the Facebook. That's one of the cool things about Facebook is you get to see some cool stuff. You get to see a lot of stuff that's not so cool, but enjoyed that, and congratulations to you both. Don't know yet, Cliff. Don't know yet. I know the water's coming down though. That'll be really glad.
Yeah.
So.
Just getting there right now. I seen that down in Mississippi. Quentin Robbins has been going out with James Patterson, and they've been getting some nice fish. But I seen one of the spots he was fishing in that I remember him taking me to that spot.
Yep.
So be getting down some.
Yep.
So,
man, he's spending too much time with Big James now. That's all there is to it.
They've been friends for years.
I know, but we're going to have to cut him back so he can't be in the boat with James so much. That's all there is to it. That's just crazy.
Good old Quentin.
There's a good one. Palmetto Cat says his wife has a pea funnel.
Really?
Wow.
Never
heard of it.
If you see some...
Oh, Glenn, how could you say that? It won't come out looking like that. With that,
let's not even go there.
yeah, I think that ought to do that. But
Yeah. Time to end the night.
hell, usually smell like cinnamon rolls.
I doubt it.
Oh man, what a show tonight, Doc. We've had a great time. Want to let everybody know that we did get a new computer in. It is being worked on right now. We're really excited to get this thing done. Hopefully, the guy will get it done in a couple of days. And we get to play with this thing. Make sure that everything is going to work out right, and it'll be really good. And yes, I will be having some cinnamon rolls just in a little while, John. Thank you so much.
He said save some for me, but I'm on a diet.
Yeah, well, I'm not on a diet, and I don't want them to go bad. That's just the way it is.
I'll freeze them.
Got a tip of the week?
Yes, I do. Most of the time, I tell people you need to carry a flashlight, but this flashlight I've got is kind of unique. It's got the regular light, but the little feature that I like is that it's got this side light on here. They can turn on. That bird is bright, so I'll turn that off. But and actually, David Funk took one of the things away. He did post it on there, but what I have done is if my rear light anchor light is not working, I have used this side light to at least tape the flashlight to it, and then you can. It's not 360, but most of the time it can get by, or you can flip it like that, and but that's I always carry. I've got flashlights out. A headlamp that I wear. I don't do that much night fishing, but if you have to get under the dash and start working on a boat or something, these things are invaluable, even during the day. There's just not enough light, to light things up to look. If you're looking inside an engine housing, or if you got to crawl under your truck and look at stuff, these flashlights are really handy. So that's Doc's tip of the week.
Well, Doc, these LED lights, since they've come out on the market, they have been a lifesaver. They don't put out so much heat that they get hot like a treble light back in the days before we had stuff like that. They'd burn you, and these hot days, they'd stick to you, and you couldn't get them off of you. They put out more light than anything ever before. I'm really impressed with the amount of light, and every time that somebody comes out with another one, it's better than the last one. So it works really well. And I'm just thrilled to death with these new LED lights, and whether you use them in the boat to fish, back or see what's going on, or whether you're working on your boat or your truck or whatever, they work really well, and that's a great tip for tonight.
And now they're coming out with magnets on these so you can attach them.
Yeah.
It's a problem because boats are made out of aluminum. My truck is made out of aluminum.
Mine too.
You stick it on there and you watch it slide down and hit the roadway. But the way these things are made pretty rugged, and they can they're like the Timex watch. It takes a licking and keeps on kicking. So.
Well, I think I told you, Doc, and I gotta. If you're here, freeze open in the middle of the night, don't shoot me. It's me coming after center. Just you can't make it that far that fast. I forgot what I was going to say now. Dang.
Flashlight?
I carry a bump cap and my cordless mining light. Ooh, that's
good. I often thought that the coon hunters used to have them lights with the big batteries on the side of it. They was really bright. They come with caps, or you could put them on a cap. That was a awesome thing, and they was fully adjustable. You could have a big wide beam or make them bright or not so bright. I think that would be the thing. But what I was going to tell you about is one of the things that I really am impressed with is when we're fishing at night, we don't have to have a great big old extra battery to run all the lights. We had 4 big LED lights, and I mean, it really lit us up. You can do anything in that boat, just like daytime. Run them on a lawnmower battery, takes up hardly no space. Charge them up when you come home. They don't hardly use them. LEDs just don't take no electricity. That's really cool. And like I say, we absolutely run 4 giants on a lawnmower battery, and it wasn't no time. It was charged up when we got back. So it works on really good, dude.
Yeah, it is a Ford, guys. So, I am a Ford. I've always had a Ford.
Me too.
What else we got here? If you hear freezer, yeah, Justin.
That was pretty good. That's pretty good.
Picture repair daily. No, I've had pretty good luck with my Ford.
I can't remember the last time I worked on one.
Stayed with them. Yeah. So.
Other than oil changes and tires once in a while, I haven't done nothing for years.
It's still a Ford and Chevy thing. Some guy, I'm stuck on Fords.
And if you want to see one that really runs, you can come down sometime. And when the front wheels come off the ground about that high, when you hit third gear at over 100 miles an hour, I can show you that too.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much me anymore, but
that's right. Thanks, guys, for 92 thumbs up. We appreciate it.
It's a
Thanks
great
for
show.
visiting us here on the show. We hope you enjoyed it. Lyle and I've been kind of doing a little bit of this. We try to do this once or twice a month now. It seems to go over real well with everybody. If you have some suggestions on things that you'd like for us to talk about, send us an email or just, type it there in chat, and we'll see what we can come up. We're not big experts about it. We like to talk about a lot of things, and we're here to try to help as many people as we can enjoy the life of catfishing.
Yep, that's exactly right. And we've been doing it a long time. Doesn't mean we know everything, but it's worked for us over the years, and we're happy to do it. You can contact us at catfishweeklytv@gmail.com, or you can just send us a message on Facebook, Catfish Weekly, and we'll take a look at anything you send. You know what?
Somebody sent me a note where somebody asked, I missed it, but whoever asked where I got my cup from, Lisa Hill, when she fished with me at the Sea Art tournament, she got me that cup. So I have no idea where she got it. This is an awesome glass, though. I love this thing.
That's sweet. It looks great.
Head. Yeah, so
nothing like a flathead.
Yeah, and it holds a,
Yep.
keeps ice and everything nice and cold in it. So
I don't have any rig wrap hats. You guys, I can't believe you're letting old Glenn off that easy about them hats.
Yeah.
I
didn't even get a hat, so
yeah, I got a white one, but I know he is going to get some. He is getting hats, but they will be black and red, and they're gorgeous. I don't have one of those, but I'm looking forward to it at some point. Thank you, Jason.
The
Appreciate
white
it.
hats I have, they get in a mess. Like this one, and this one is doing pretty good. My Fishaholic hat is doing pretty good, but I only wear it. I don't wear it fishing.
Yeah, Cindy won't let me out of the house with this white one Glenn sent me, because the instant it leaves out of this room, it's dirty. Yeah. And I ruined a hat at the ball game yesterday. I ruined one. It was so hot down there, and I sweat so bad. But it is what it is. That's just hats. We go through a lot of hats. So let's spin one more time, Doc. Cindy, give me a number, please.
3.
Everybody wants to see it. 1, 2, 3. And the winner is Kyle Rutt, R-U-T-T. Yeah. Oh, no, I'm not. I found a job for Cindy, Doc.
Oh.
Easy sinker slides. You guys got your wish. We got to Glenn a little bit tonight. Kyle, if you'll contact me after the show with your shipping information, I have some easy sinker slides, and I will ship them out to you tomorrow. Thank you so much, Glenn. We appreciate everything you do. We like to give you a hard time, as well as the folks in chat, but it's all in good fun, and we're so happy to have you be a part of what we do as Catfish Weekly. It means so much to us. I was going to say something else, and now I done forgot what it was. It must not have been all that important, Doc. But you'll love them easy sinker slides. They're bad to the bone. Anything else you got tonight, Doc? I think he's froze up.
Is he?
He looks froze up.
He does look froze. Very froze.
I think Doc is taking a nap on us. I want to thank everybody for watching Catfish Weekly night. We really appreciate it. Thank you all for the wishes for our anniversary. It's been a long ride. We've had a great time. Till we see you next Monday night. Thanks for watching.